going on, guys? Aaron Goldston here. So in this video, we're going to talk about Amazon dropshipping suppliers and the best ones to use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the 2 best dropshipping suppliers that I use. I use these dropshipping suppliers to do over $1 million a year dropshipping on Amazon. I make over $100,000 a year in profit dropshipping on Amazon, working about 45 minutes a day. But before I share these with you, I need to go over and share with you 4 things to look for when choosing a dropshipper. There's 4 different things, and the dropshipper you use has to have all 4 of these criteria. If they're missing just one, it's going to cost you a lot of money, could be thousands of dollars, and a lot of headache, and I'll prove to you why that is in this video. And as a lot of you guys know, I like to show my sales every now and then, so you see it. I'll refresh it in real time. Then over $2,000 in sales so far today. Over $186,000 in sales, or $185,000 in sales in the last 30 days. So because of that, I definitely know what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and dive right into it though. So before I share with you the 2 dropshippers that I recommend, we need to go over the 4 things to be aware of when choosing a dropshipping supplier. So there are some companies out there that are okay with dropshipping. They like dropshipping. There's actually some that almost encourage it. There's some that don't like dropshipping. So the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of time finding products that you can profitably dropship on Amazon. Then spending time listing those products. Then start selling a lot of those products and then run into issues. What are some of the issues you could run into? Well, one of the issues you could run into is the account that you have with the supplier or with the company. One of the things that's pretty common is they will just start canceling orders. So maybe if you're drop shipping 1 or 2 items a day, even 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items a day, they let those orders go through. Start getting to 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 orders a day. A lot of times, a lot of companies will just cancel the order. They'll let you place the order with the company, but then they send you an email 24 to 48 hours later that says something along the lines of, hey, we got your order. They make up some excuse. We canceled it. And they do that for all your orders. And if you're drop shipping a lot of items and you have a lot of sales and customers are expecting items and you can't get any of the orders to any of your customers because the website or supplier is canceling all your orders, that's going to be a big issue. The second thing is that they don't like, there's some companies out there that will let you place lots of orders, but they don't like it when you use different addresses because they don't like drop shipping. So maybe you can place lots of orders, but when you start shipping it all over to the United States, they do the same thing. They start canceling the orders. Another common thing is where, if, maybe you're selling, a couch and the couch is popular and you start selling 10 couches a day and you go to your supplier and you start placing an order for 10 couches a day and the supplier comes back and basically says, hey, you can only buy 1 couch from us every 2 weeks. That can be an issue. So it's important to be aware of all these things and make sure that you're not going to run into any of these issues with your supplier. The 2 other things have to do with returns. So there's 2 parts to the returns. The first part is Amazon. We have to be aware of Amazon's return policy. Amazon has an extended period of time where after the customer buys the item from you, they can return it. What happens when the customer, and sometimes like especially around the holiday season, like December, Christmas, that time expands a little bit. So what happens when it's the customer's bought the item, they've had the item for 6, 7 weeks, they contact you and they say, hey, something's happened with this item, whatever the reason is, I want to return it. And you say, okay, no problem. And you think, I'm just going to go to my supplier, I'll get a prepaid label from the supplier, I'll send it to the customer will ship it back directly to the supplier, everyone will be happy. So you go to the supplier and you say, hey, I'm not happy with this item, I'd like to return it. You act like you're the customer. And the supplier says, oh, you bought this item from us 7 weeks ago. We have a 14-day return policy. It's been 14 days, you can no longer return it. Well, Amazon's return policy is, let's say the customer bought that item, they had 2 months to return that item. They had 2 months to return the item from the date that it was delivered. So Amazon's going to say, hey, listen, you're going to have to take this item back. You're going to have to take it back. We don't care what you say. We care about the customers. You have to take it back. It's within the return window. But the company you dropship from says it's out of the return window and they don't take it back. You would have to eat the cost of that. You'd essentially have to get it shipped back to you. And I don't know, you have to try to sell it on Craigslist or sell it on eBay and try to, make a few dollars back from what you paid. It'd be a big pain. It wouldn't be worth going through all that trouble. The second part of the return is what happens if it's who pays for the return shipping? Who pays for the return shipping? See, in the beginning when I started drop shipping on Amazon, it was like, how can I make money right now? Now I care more about the future and if actions I take now, what are the ramifications 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, even a couple weeks in the future? What are all the problems that could come up? And I try to be aware of all the different scenarios. What happens who pays for the return shipping? Who pays for the return shipping? I had a customer and they bought, it was like a big thing for the outside. And I don't know what, it was probably like 75 to 100 pounds. Who pays for the return shipping? Is your supplier going to pay for it? Or are you going to have to eat the cost and pay for the return shipping? See, the suppliers that I use, you can drop ship 100 items a day. You can order 200 items a day from them and they don't care. Most items, you can order a whole bunch of items and they're going to process all the orders. You can ship it all over everywhere and they don't care. You can send it to all different addresses. They have a very extensive, long return window where it's usually multiple months you can return it. And the suppliers I use all pay for return shipping. So even that big bulky item, maybe it's $50 to get it sent back. My supplier will pay for return shipping. And sometimes, actually, it's not too uncommon, the supplier will even set it up where they'll send someone to the customer's house to pick up the item. So, let's say they ordered, for example, like a couch. It's going to be hard for the customer to take a couch and drop it off at FedEx. My supplier pretty much will set it up where a FedEx truck will actually go to the customer's house for the customer's convenience. And all the customer has to do is, take the couch, put it right outside in the front. The FedEx truck person will take the FedEx couch, drag it all the way into their truck, ship it back to the supplier. The supplier will refund me. I'll refund the customer. Everyone's happy. Nobody loses money. So the two suppliers that I use that I've had good experiences with this, and I continue to drop ship from them today, are Home Depot and Walmart. Home Depot and Walmart meet all their criteria we talk about. Place a gazillion orders. For the most part, you can place a bunch of orders for a single item. You can ship all over everywhere. You ship all the different addresses. They have a very nice return window. A return window that meets there's only one time I've ever had an issue with returns. Where one item, it wasn't in the return window. Every other item that I've gotten on Amazon has been in the return window with zero issues. I've been drop shipping for about 1.5 years. And they pay for the return every single time, regardless of the price. So that's what I got for you guys. Those are the two Amazon drop shippers that I use, and those are the 4 things to be aware of. I'm not saying there's not other drop shippers that you should use, but if you're considering other drop shippers, make sure they meet each of these 4 criteria so you're not left with a bunch of headache or possibly losing a lot of money.